Sakai Boys.
Sakai Boys.
Sakai Boys.
I think we like that in America because the American dream.
People are not going to Starbucks because Starbucks is like supporting Israel.
Some people say that, but I think that's ignorance.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Matt.
I'm 25.
24.
So I'm from a state called Utah in the United States.
I'm from Texas in the U.S.
Yeah, so we actually just met recently. So we all came here with a friend group, and we had never met each other, so we just became friends because of our group of friends. So
Yeah.
we actually met like 2 days ago.
His cousin. I know his cousin.
So I do data analytics and IT. So I work with a lot of computers and predictive analysis and business analysis. So yeah.
And I am a marine biologist.
I always thought about that, but so here's where it gets complicated. So my mother is from Sweden, so I plan on doing my master's degree of economics in Sweden. So I might try to get a job in Northern Europe instead of the big city, but because I don't really like my mom lived after she moved from Sweden. She lived in Los Angeles. I don't like Los Angeles.
In my line of work, no, I'm supposed to be out in the ocean. So
Yeah, it's with how it is nowadays. Yes, it's more money, but it's also more money to live there. It's very expensive to live in the big city. So it's like, yes, there's more money, but we kind of lose all that money paying for a place to live. So it's better to just stay in the smaller town. I think we have one more day in Tokyo, and then in about 2 weeks we're coming back for 3 days.
Total,
6 days total. I guess we're going
we're
to.
going to Osaka, and we're going to go to Universal, and we're going to go to Kyoto. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're just mainly excited to go to Nintendo Land.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do that, and then obviously One Piece. Yeah, so a lot of people in America really want to go to Universal Studios here because you guys have different stuff.
Way different from the U.S. Universal.
Right now, I'm really into Jujutsu Kaisen. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. I've always loved Dragon Ball, of course. But I don't know, what about you?
Ichiban, One Piece.
There's also Spy Family. I think the main thing is because Goku's whole character is about working hard, even though he was the weakest. You know, he was a low rate warrior. He worked hard and became the strongest warrior. And I think we like that in America because the American dream, it's all about working from the bottom, trying to get to the top. So Goku's like a good example of working hard, getting to the top. I think that's why a lot of people like it. That's why I like it. Because I think Goku is really cool and very inspiring.
Honestly, I just think it's really different. American TV shows and stuff, they're all kind of one and the same, but in anime, very unique, different story. And that's just why I like it, honestly. And the animation's really
Most of us are really excited for the ryokans, the onsens. Yeah, Yeah, we talked about that last night, actually.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of we coming here. We just accepted, like, all right, we'll just have to see each other naked, and we'll just get through over that.
Yeah.
You know, that's true. We'll compare sizes and everything. Yeah, well, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
We'll figure it
It'll be
out.
a fun time.
Yeah. I honestly, I feel like our group is kind of different from other Americans in that regard because I feel like we've all studied a lot about Japan, so we don't really like stereotype them that much because we kind of understand why. But I would say one thing in particular though is everyone here is very polite. We feel like it's really interesting because, for example, like we're getting on an elevator. Sometimes people will bow to me, like will bow to each other as they're leaving the elevator, or like I'm walking past someone, they'll bow, and it's really interesting to me. Just like no words are spoken, but there's just so much bowing. So I think that's a big stereotype we have. You know, I like it though. It's really nice.
Top of my head, I just think of the rice. You know, you guys eat a lot of rice.
Yeah, I think the sushi rice, like the sticky rice, is really sticky here.
Yeah.
It's not sticky back home. It falls apart.
Yes.
We've had a lot of onigiri.
Oh yeah. Our friends bought a little onigiri making kit or something. You know, you put
Yeah,
the meat in there,
Like
you
you
get the
put
rice.
it in, you press it.
Yeah. So I think it's becoming.
I think because of TikTok, it's becoming really
Yeah,
popular.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun going to some stores and trying to ask people to teach me words. Like I went to a clothing store and this girl kept pointing at my hair and she was like kokui, and she was trying to say my hair was cool, and I was like kokui, what does that mean? You know, and like we kept, and then kawaii, like you know, so just learning words from people has been really fun. You know, what I would say is just be confident. You know, like a lot of people here speak a little bit, maybe like one or two words, but people here, especially if they're trying to sell you something, will try to understand you and be confident. So I would say for foreigners, I guess, just try to speak a little bit of Japanese and use hand signals. You know, like if you're buying something, like I was at a restaurant the other day and I was like, pay, you know, check. So like, yeah, hand signals go a long way.
My name is Christina. I'm 19. It's like college tour kind of thing for university. 2 years? Accounting or international business? I'm still choosing. I don't know. I just had like interest in Japan when I was in high school, and I don't know. I don't really know why Japan. Maybe because it got popular, but it's like different from America. I mean, I think it's just like the the culture and like it's convenient here a lot and like all that stuff. Especially from where I'm from, there's nothing like this. I mean, I've been to Japan before, but I really like Japan. It's just different in terms of like I there's a lot of things I can't do as easily as when I'm at home. Like, you know, at home I am more independent versus here I feel like more shy and more like afraid to do certain things because I don't speak Japanese super good. So, and even if I did, I'm like foreigner engaging, so it's like still a little different, but it's not bad. Maybe meeting up with my friends and stuff and just going out and stuff. Maybe that. I think that's the funnest thing because that's what I do at home anyway, and it's just fun because it's like we do different things here versus what I do in the US. We went to like izakaya and we went to like purikura. That's just the thing though. Like in America, that's very like purikura is super like a weird thing, but here it's so normal. So it's just kind of fun. I do it for fun and just do it with them because it's like I don't do this back home. So yeah, but I mean I didn't really drink, but it was just to eat because we don't have izakaya is nothing like the food I guess is like I'm eating. I have a few friends I hang out with. Yeah, a little bit, not like every day or anything, but I have like 5 or 6 friends that I already know. Hopefully, I make more. But yeah, I have a few friends that I made online and I just met up with and stuff. It's fun. They're really cool. Respecting other people and like in train, everyone's quiet, but like in Chicago, for example, like it's not the case. There's a lot of people on the phone and being really like noisy and not really respecting other people and not, you know, just not being mindful of other people. Versus Japan, they're very mindful and sometimes it can even be a bad thing because sometimes they're a little too like they care too much about what people think. But you know, it has its good things that like it's nice that you don't have to like worry about other people and that it's safe and that like they're taught from a young age to be like respect other things. I think I always tell my mom I would either only live in Chicago or move out of the country because I don't like California. New York is too expensive. I don't like Florida, like South, that's too hot. And then the other than Chicago, it's nothing. So like I don't really like. I would probably only live in Chicago. It was during quarantine. I started to like notice Japanese stuff. I just started watching because that's when the anime got really big, at least like in America. And so I watched it, and my friends, like as a joke, they were just joking like, "Oh, like let's go to Japan for a semester," as a, like, and we were just joking. But I'm like, okay, like I'll learn Japanese just in case. But then it like they stopped caring. But then I actually ended up really liking it. So I was the one who like kept on learning Japanese and kept on trying to like come here, and then I did. So yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a love, but I think it's like it's just kind of like what I'm used to and what I know. Oh no, no, it's not as common as they think. I mean, it happens in America a lot, but oh, actually, in high school there was like a warning that someone wanted to shoot the school, but nothing happened. That was like about 5 years ago, but it was just like a bunch of people just left the school, but it was like a false alarm. It's just someone on Snapchat posted something about coming and shooting up the school. That was the only thing that was like, oh god. But yeah, no, I've never experienced nothing with like gun violence in my life. The war in Palestine and Israel. This is like something that's really like I see a lot, and like people are not going to Starbucks because Starbucks is like supporting Israel, so they don't like that. And like I guess like the basic political stuff, like the elections are coming up next year, so you know Donald Trump is running up again, all that stuff. That's like hot stuff that I know of. But other than that, it's just like whatever you see on the news kind of stuff.
Caesar, 62. I'm a surgeon. I'm a doctor. Ever since I was 20 years old, I was curious about Japanese culture, and things have changed a lot since I was 20. That was 40 years ago. But I decided finally it was time to come and see for myself. I was not born in Hawaii, but I live and work in Hawaii now, yes. On the mainland in the United States, in Texas and in California. I left Texas about 15 years ago. Hawaii is very expensive and it pays the least of all the places, but Hawaii is very safe, very clean, very beautiful. Hawaii is small and very slow, not commercialized. Some things are difficult to find in Hawaii, but that's what I like. It's not over commercialized. The United States is very commercialized. I have been 100% impressed in a good way. I never expected Tokyo, I only know Tokyo, to be so modern, so well organized, so safe, better than the United States. I wish in America we could learn from the Japanese. Wow, best experience is almost everything. Uh, Being able to walk in downtown Tokyo at night and not have to worry about being assaulted. Can't do that in New York. I can't do that in Los Angeles. Security, yeah. This is a very large city, very complicated. However, it's very easy to find my way because the organization, the Japanese organization, it's like the Swiss. It's better than the Swiss and the Germans because I've been to Switzerland and Germany, but the trains and the metro and the subways and the streets, for an American, it's remarkably easy to find my way. I couldn't do this in any city in the United States. It'd be very hard. I read a few books, but I read an article in a magazine, you know, Time magazine, American news magazine, and it was an expose on Japan and the culture and the society. And I was reading this as a young man, and I thought, we don't have this in the United States. I would like to see it for myself. Very little crime in Japan. very little poverty in Japan. In Japan, people think about the system not very individualistic, so not selfish. In America, it's the opposite, in my opinion. The fires were in August 8th in Maui, yeah. Well, the weather was very dry for a long time, no rain, and very windy. So a combination of wind and low humidity caused a small fire to become very large very quickly. And it was a bit disorganized. So people didn't leave in time, and I think the officials were not very good in warning people. So they got stuck, and that's why many people died. Some people say that, but I think that's ignorance. I think not so much conspiracy, but inability of the officials, police, the fire department, civil defense, to organize an orderly evacuation. They just didn't know how. But I don't think it was done on purpose. I think it was very bad luck. Well, I think American society, like many societies, idolizes certain professions, doctors, lawyers, but also celebrity. Celebrity culture in America is very strong. I think here in Japan also is very strong. But the problem in America is that there are very important people, teachers, the people who make the country run. They are not given very much importance, and they're not paid very well. Just common workers. I think here in Japan, you have more respect for people who have common jobs, but without them, society would stop. The United States has a very short history. Japan has many centuries, right? The United States, 250, 300 years at the most. And it was founded on independence from the British. So Americans feel like they have to win. They have to fight and win to get what they want. Very little cooperation. Cooperation is not usually a solution to a problem. Individualistic approach is a solution to a problem. Me, everybody else, get behind me instead of let's get together and find a common solution. And I think that's the Japanese approach. Community. Here, people respect, even crossing the street. We wait for the light to turn red and then we cross green. We cross together because it's safer. In the United States, everybody says, I do what I want. Nobody can tell me what to do. I am more important. The individual is more important than the collective. And I think in Japan and many Asian countries, the collective is more important than the individual because that makes for a better society. This is the problem with guns in the United States. Everybody has a gun. I would like to know why you think that in Tokyo there are no homeless people living on the street. Maybe there are a few. I think I saw one person over in Shibuya. But in San Francisco, people are dying on the street. People with nowhere. Why is that? Well, I think I don't understand the whole thing, but there's a huge, enormous economy behind the drugs. Billions of dollars pushing these drugs into the country. But I don't understand why so many Americans need the drugs. I think it is because in many ways American culture is very empty. I think initially a Japanese person, middle-class Japanese person, well-educated, would go to the United States, and for several years they would be interested and happy and intrigued. But after a while, I think they would miss Japan and they would want to go back. Yes, I don't know if in Japan it's the same, but in the United States, the number one thing is money. How to make money. It's very difficult to go with friends to a restaurant and have dinner and not spend an hour speaking about business or money. Well, because again, it's politics. Most people in the United States are in favor of gun control, but the politicians who write the laws won't do it because there are powerful economic forces behind the sale and manufacture of guns. But also, it's the American psyche that says they won the revolution against the British because the Americans had guns and were able to fight. This was hundreds of years ago. It doesn't matter now, but this has remained in the American psyche, is that we have the right to have a gun.